All right. So thank you everyone for joining and welcome to everyday meditation sessions, 8:30 p.m. So as we have been discussing on the chakras, so today we are going to discuss about the heart chakra. So in the past sessions, we have discussed all the lower three chakras, right? We have discussed about the Muladhara chakra, Swadhisthana, and solar plexus chakra, right? So today we are going to discuss about the fourth chakra, which is the heart chakra, or also called as Anahata chakra. The Sanskrit name is the Anahata chakra. So it is located in the chest area or in the heart area. So it's basically depicted as in the center, but you can also put your hand on the heart because it's very easy. So on this area it is located. So it's basic, this chakra basic right is to love and to be loved. Right? So it has that social identity aspect. So the issue comes when we are not able to love, mostly the relationships, right? So this chakra deals with that relationships and love. So we have discussed that the first chakra is all about the survival, right? And the what impacts the first chakra is the fear energy, and the second chakra deals with the emotions, right? And it's the demon energy was the guilt energy, and third chakra is about the power and achievements, and its demo energy is the ego, right? So, and the fourth chakra deals with love and relationships. So, when the third chakra uh, is where you experience this lifetime experiences, right, as a human life, because it's a power center, and through that we manifest everything in our life. So, the third chakra has to be in balance for the fourth chakra to be in balance. So how it is like imbalance in the first chakra creates the imbalance in the second chakra. And the imbalance in the second chakra creates the imbalance in the third chakra. And when the third chakra is not in the imbalance, or you can say when all three chakras are not in the balance, that's when the heart chakra is impacted. So all the lower three chakras are very important for the heart chakra to be in the balance, right? When all these, the lower chakras are in the balance, working good, then automatically we will be in the heart space. So when you are receiving and processing and giving all the energies in the beautiful way with all these three centers, with all the three lower chakras, then you radiate joy or that beautiful, the wonderful way in the heart chakra as well. So ego is what affects our relationships. That's the main, we all know that, right? So when we are in the ego space, we will not be authentic, right? So to be in the heart space is nothing but to be authentic. So egoistic behaviors impact the heart chakra. So when I say egoistic means, that means you are not connected to your own true self, your own heart, right? You are not connected to your own soul or the soul strength. So when the heart chakra is not in balance, so we see certain patterns in the people. So for example, like you are codependent on your partners or in any relationship, right? It could be parents and children, it could be in the working, it could be between the friends, but we see mostly these in the partner. So when you are dependent or too much dependent on your partner, then it's not a healthy relationship, right? We should be strong, and if your partner is also strong, then you share that strength, right? And then we can give that energy as well. But if you are weak, if you are codependent on your partner or your husband or wife, like if you say I cannot be happy without them, or I cannot survive without my partner. That's a codependency. So two people come together to share their strength, share their joy and their life together, to have the this better experience in the planet Earth, right? So, for example, if you see the music, right, who play tabla, who play flute, so independently they are sufficient, right? Tabla is a beautiful music. Who are playing, they can be with very joy and independently they can play that music. And same as with the flute, right? But when they come together, right, what happens? It gives the very grand music in a grander way. It's more grander melody, right? It's a grander celebration, but if you observe, they're not dependent on each other, but they're coming together. So similarly, our relationships also should be like that. We should be independent, but we should come together for the grander way. In any way, either when you're doing seva, when you are to experience or to give love to your children, right? You should come together. So when you don't have healthy self-esteem, or you are not connected to your heart chakra, or when you are not connected to your true self, you what we do is we become demanding, we become possessive, we are clinging, right? We cling to other people, we suffocate them, we will have the poor boundaries, and we do too much of self sacrificing, and later we complain, I have done so much to you, right? So for other person to be with you, you do the self sacrifice, and when your partners or if somebody is close with the other person, you naturally tend to feel jealous, because this is all because of the insecurity, right? And in the same imbalance there is other side, right? These are all the deficient. But if you are on the superior complex side, what happens is you become very antisocial, you which is also not healthy, right? You become judgmental of the other people. So if you have healthy ego, then it is easy to accept yourself and others. But you can see that everyone is right from the other point of view. So then that means you are not in the ego space, um, but but you are in your the heart space, because you are able to understand everyone from their point of view. So when other persons are wrong, or typically seems to be wrong, right, we become judgmental. That means we lose the compassion and mostly the empathy towards the others. So empathy means simply trying to understand the other people in their shoes, or to perceive other people emotions, trying to understand them, be in their place, right? So when you become judgmental, naturally what happens is you become lonely, right? No one wants to be your friend, no one wants to be in relationship with you, and these people fear intimacy as well. They don't want to get too close to other people, right? And sometimes, and actually most of the times, they end up being single, and they say like, relationship is too much for me, I'm very happy being single, I don't want to get married, or I don't want to be in relationship because I'm happy, as I'm with single, right? But the main reason for this is they have a fear of the other people might hurt their ego. The moment you become close to other people, that means you are becoming vulnerable, right? Because when we are close to other people, what happens is, see, out with the outside people we always wear the mask. So you go to the work, you are a different person, but when you are in the home, you are a different person, right? So you, if you wanted to become close to other people, you become suffocated, you become vulnerable, because all your qualities, your true nature will become unmasked in front of other people, and that's what they fear. So they tend to be antisocial, they tend to be lonely, they fear relationships, because They are not connected to their own heart center, not even the empathy towards other, but they are not connected to their own true self. They don't love themselves. They are not happy with their own self. So outside they say, right, I'm happy with myself. I don't need anyone in life. But that's the mask they wear. They also have too much of the self importance. I mean, it's good to have the self importance, but it is overly more in the proportion, right? It's more like a narcissism, they tell. So they feel like they are very sensitive, they are social, but other people don't understand them, other people don't love them. But the actual reason is because they themselves lack the empathy. They cannot understand other people, but they think other people don't love us, right? And what happens, this affects the relationships, right? So it's I mean in lot of sessions we discussed, and various masters also discussed, right, about ego. Ego is neither good or bad, right? Ego is good if you have a healthy, or if you educate on your ego. So it's okay to have an identity, and through which you achieve a lot, right? You achieve because of that power, because of that ego, because of that willingness. So, for example, you have a title, or we can think about the president of United States, right? Being in this title, being in this identification, he do a lot of work to keep the America safe, to give employment to others, right? To develop the country. There is nothing wrong in it. Through ego, you achieve and you manifest in your life. But when you are attached to that ego, but if you are attached to that identity, then that's the problem, right? Otherwise, ego by itself is good, and with ego only we transcend, right? It is neither good or bad. Ego, we can say ego is a learning tool that will only transcend us to the enlightenment path. Actually, enlightenment, when I say enlightenment, it's the self-realization, right? Just dropping the ego is the self-realization. That means who we are, our true self, or our true divinity. So, so I just want to give an example, right? So when you are in this ego, in the path of ego, what we see is we see only one particular person. For example, like zoom in and zoom out. Imagine you are zooming in on a picture and zooming out in a picture, right? So when you really zoom in, what you see one person, you are seeing a person, but when you are zooming out, you see so many people, so much nature. Just imagine like you are zooming in and zooming out from the space onto the earth, right? When you really zoom in, you see one person. But when you zoom out, what happens? You see so many other people, so many countries, nations, water, ocean, trees, right? So our life should be like that, zoom in and zoom out. So non-enlightened persons always see only zoom in, only one person themselves. They feel special, right? So the path of ego versus the path of soul. So always the ego, the path of ego is from the mind space, and the path of ego is always from the mind space, and the soul is from the heart space. So unless there is this famous quote, right? Unless you become the childlike, you cannot enter the kingdom of God. And this is given by the Jesus, and he is an enlightened master, right? So what he meant is, for entering the kingdom means we have to drop all our suffering. And how does we suffer? That's a self-inflicted, right? Suffering is always caused by our own self. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is always optional. We create our own suffering. So when you drop that ego, you are liberated, right? From that self-inflicted suffering, that is also called as moksha, liberation. salvation, nirvana. It's all enlightened. It's all the same meaning, right? So for us, right, all of us, we always have a conflict between the mind and heart. Ego says I am important, but heart says everyone is important. Mind says I am special always, right? But the heart says everyone is special. Heart says I'm important, but also everyone is important. Mind always creates this separation, but heart is always inclusive. It's always about the oneness. You feed love, you feed friendship, you feel the oneness. So just remember, you have to educate your ego. That means you have to go beyond ego. You have to transcend that ego to be in your heart center. If you feel equal to everyone, that means you are at the heart center, right? So what do we have to do is just do meditation to do this, to overcome the inferiority complexes, learn the spiritual knowledge, right? These concepts, and listening to other experiences as well. It will overcome our superiority complex. Each person is special. Each person is, from everyone we can learn something. So when you have that understanding, our superiority complex will go down, right? Uh, so it's like, we to be in our heart space, basically we have to become authentic, right? What you feel is what you have to speak, and also what you have to do. All these three should be the same, right? The people are not authentic because they have a fear of being judged, right? They think, oh, if I speak the truth, they might say something. They might not involve me. They might not like me. They might not love me, right? They have a fear of that ruining their self-image. They have a fear of being lonely, alone, not being accepted. And that's why the people are not authentic. So you have to feel safe. If you don't feel safe, or if you don't feel loved, which is the fundamental thing, is the fear, right? When you have the fear of not being safe or not being loved, obviously we have to work on it. So we have to work on our fears, or on our working on our removing our guilt or shame. So that's when we become fearless, and we have guts to speak the truth and to be more authentic, right? Um, Again, we have to understand this, right? When we talk, like, we have to work on our fears, when we have to work on forgiving, on our guilt and shame, right? Understand that this is a journey, and this journey is like, it will carry for many lifetimes. It's like layers, right? You have to remove layer after layer after layer. So this is not even one lifetime journey, master. This is many, many, many lifetimes. So understand that. So we are all in this meditation journey, but we still have to learn, and we are all not perfect, right? So the trust, that trust has to come from the heart space. You have to uh, take away uh, take away that fear. And you have to trust on the divine, or trust on yourself, trust on others, right? So when we are dealing with relationships, the main reason the people are not happy in their relationships, or the divorces, or relationships between parents and children, is, or at the workplace, right? The main issue is the ego only. So if your relationships are not good, especially in the partners, you meditate together, and important thing is acknowledge that you both are not perfect. Okay, because we are in this journey to become perfect. So both are not perfect. Acknowledging that and working together will make that relationship more radiant and joyful, right? It's not important what others feel about yourself. It's more important about how you feel about yourself, right? Your true self is nothing but your divine self, or the God self, right? The more and more you meditate, you realize more about your true self. When you know about your true self, what happens, more and more you rejoice, or more you enjoy your life, your human life, right, on this planet Earth. And then you, what happens is you start accepting everyone because you are already joyful. So you are not frustrated, you are not disappointed with anyone actions or whatever anyone say you, right? You, when you accept yourself, it's very easy to accept others. Okay, so remember that all the life is what we are creating, right? And through self reflection only our that inner change is possible. No one can change ours, and we cannot change others. So through self reflection only that inner change is possible. So the heart chakra is in the center, right? So it between the lower three chakras and the upper three chakras. So all the lower three chakras are about the physical, and the upper chakras are about the spiritual. So the heart chakra is the doorway, right, between the physical to the spiritual. It is the balancing between these two. Heart chakra allows you to be in the middle path. It will allow you to enjoy the life on this planet Earth. At the same time, you will know about your own true divinity, right? So unless you are in the heart center, you will not able to experience your true self, your true divinity, right? So heart center is all about godliness, your divinity. That's where the healing happens, and that's the intuition, everything. It's oneness, it's friendship, right? So what blocks this energy in the heart center? So the demon energy is the grief, friends. So what prevents you from being in the heart space is the grief. So the demon energy for this chakra is the grief. So when the grief is there, you don't trust your life. You feel very vulnerable. You feel lonely. You are not connected to your own self. You will not be connected to the divine energy within you, right? Or the higher self. So you always feel terrible. You feel alone, like life is worthless. It's not going anywhere. Nobody loves me. Life is tragedy. So this is all the thinking patterns you will have. So, but if you will transform this a with the same energy into the trust, right? The trust in yourself, trust with God, or faith in the life, right? Trusting that whatever happens in life is for good, for higher self. Trusting that bigger picture of that life. Trusting that you are creating your own reality. Then that same energy transforms into joy. It's the opposite of the grief, right? For example, children, if you see children, right, they're always in joy. They're not, they transcend that happiness. They are in the one level more than the happiness. They're always in the joy because they trust the life. They are full in hope. They always go with the flow, right? They don't resist anything. And they are very authentic in expressing their emotions. You should see that they will not, anytime, they will not have any filters. If they don't like, they will show on their face itself. Right? If they get mad, if they are happy, they want to laugh, anything, they will just show it immediately. They will not have any filters. They are very authentic, right? So what causes these blockages? So we have discussed in the last three sessions, right? All the things that blocks all the lower three chakras, the same will create the imbalance in the heart chakra. All the abuses when they are, especially at the young age, when they are infants to child, right? So when we make them feel unlovable, that creates the self-rejection in them. So when we are rejected, what happens? We seek that approval from others. We seek appreciation from others. We seek love from others. So it's like you lost key in a room, but you are looking in a different room. We will never find it, right? So the same thing, it is in ourselves, but we are looking from the others. And especially in today's world, right? There is also the twisted concepts of the love, because nobody knows what true love is. We all are very conditioned in a certain way. We are groomed in a certain way, so from the childhood. So because as an adults, we ourselves don't know what healthy love is, right? And we do the same thing to our children. We tell our children, you have to do this so that we will love you. You have to achieve this so that we will love you. I mean, maybe not literally, but that's how our emotions are, and they can really understand those, right? So uh, and we become conditional, like, you have to do this, you have to achieve this, you have to be like this, then only I'm happy, then only I feel worthy. And they don't want to let the parents down, so what they do is they they lose that touch with their heart center. And as an adults, right, we from the childhood we are groomed in a certain way, and we fantasize about our partners. We fantasize that they have to be very unconditional love towards us. They have to love no matter what. But we are with the conditional love, right? So what happens, and it's the same thing with the opposite partner as well. They also have the same thing. They want everything from their partner, but they have their condition towards their love. So what happens when the both are seeking this conditional loves, and both are not capable of giving that conditional love? And with this confusion, when they have the children, what's happening? It's becoming disaster, and it's the same cycle is repeating. Right? So the change has to be within yourself, friends. Right? And heart chakra is all about love and relationships, right? So ask how your relationships are, like, how do I reach out to others, or your partners, or to anyone, right? How do I treat them? How do I seek what I'm seeking from the relationships? What are my expectations? How I'm giving into the relationship? Are they conditional? Are they unconditional? Are there very special people in my life? Why they are special? So, and when this heart chakra is imbalanced, we have some physical conditions, right? Always our human bodies are psychosomatic. So any blockages in the chakras, that will reflect in our bodies, in our physical bodies. So the disorders in the heart space, in the lung, in the breast, arms, right? The shortness of breath, asthma, immune deficiency related diseases, the tension between the neck and the shoulders, the pain in the chest, right? These are all related of the blocking the heart chakra. So what we have to do, right? For similar to all the chakras, meditation, deep meditation is very, very, very important, because that's how we are connected to the source, and we will be connected to our own true self and divinity. Right? And we have to work on accepting ourselves and unconditionally, right? Accept your true self, and forgive and let go, forgive yourself, forgive others, right? Understand that forgiving others will only help you, not them, right? And practice seva, right? Volunteer service without any expectation, right? And when you practice seva, right, naturally you are in a joy. um, and we see a lot of people, they do seva, and they're in so much of that groundedness, so much of that fulfillment, right? So much of enjoy. So if you're not doing, experiment it, friends. Do some seva, any kind of seva, any kind of activity that you like, without any expectations, right? The more you do service, you realize that helping others is only helping ourselves. we think that we are helping them, but it helps others. It helps our own selves, right? So taking care of others is nothing but taking care of ourselves, right? There is a, quote, right? Manava sevaye Madhava seva. So when you do seva, when you do service, it helps ourselves. That is within the divinity within ourselves, right? So this is pretty much about the heart chakra.